Okay. Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder. Of course, we wanted him to come back and do a Justice League movie. So, of course, Zack Snyder was on the Vodka stream over the weekend, and this was his entrance right here, which was pretty damn cool. I thought, just for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, here was the entrance right here when Scott was unboxing. Really cool stuff. Hold on. Let me turn on the audio. Make sure the audio is on. All right. So here it is right here. To let you guys know that somebody else wanted to witness this too, a big fan of all... Oh, come on. Scott, please turn your attention to the screen. Zack Snyder is here.
Do you own your home?
Okay. Jesus Christ. I hate YouTube sometimes. Jesus Christ. Of course, they put a commercial right there. Really? A commercial right there?
Yeah, but still
right there.
Electricity?
My God.
If you pay more than $50...
Gotta love it. Gotta love that. Come on.
Right.
Ugh. So let's watch that again. My God. Hey, just to let you guys know that somebody else wanted to witness this too, a big fan of all this. Scott, please turn your attention to the screen. Zack Snyder is here, guys. Zack Snyder is here.
Nice. Zach.
Hello. So cool. So cool. All right. So yeah. When it came to that, I even explained it right after he left. He was only on there for about like a half an hour or something like that. Zach was on there. It's just really cool. And basically what happened was when we were planning this thing, we talked about it the week prior, and I was like, all right, Scott got his statue. All right, we're all set. We're going to do this on Wednesday night, live unboxing of the statue, this epic statue that that's like over 50 pounds and all that stuff. So then, of course, naturally, I reached out to Ray Porter, Darkseid himself, and Ray was all about it. So he was a special guest, which was great. He added to the colorful commentary. Then I was like, maybe Zach would want to come on and witness this thing. So I hit him up, sent him the picture of the box, talked about it, and then I think it was like a little less than an hour before the stream, he responded going, "Tonight?" ? And I went, "Yeah, buddy, in about an hour." And then I just sent him a link. Never got a confirmation. Had no idea. No idea if he was coming on or not. But then during the whole thing, about 54 minutes in or whatever, he popped in and it was like, oh man, epic. Just absolutely epic. Fucking the nicest dude in the world. And then of course Debbie was there too. Debbie showed up. She watched a little bit and everything. Two of the nicest people in the world. Totally just popping in to watch this thing and just add to some colorful commentary that we had. So, and it was great. And, we shot the shit with him a little bit, asked him a little bit of questions. And, yeah, that was pretty much it. Just an epic vodka stream. But then, of course, we wake up Saturday and, wow. Wow. All of a sudden, there was people not happy. There was people not happy, and it turned out to be an interesting weekend because, when it came to Saturday morning, I was feeling a little, a little frisky. I was like, what are we doing here? Huh? What are we doing? Huh? I was feeling a little bit, I got a little bit of a hangover happening, I got some breakfast burritos happening, and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to start pushing back on some of this stuff. And it was funny, too, because the first thing that I saw when it came to people that were upset, and I was going, why are there some people upset about this? This was an unboxing live stream, and it had some people just having fun, having some drinks, just relaxing and just watching this thing and having some fun with it and everything. And I'm like, why are people upset with it? And then it turns out it's because we didn't ask the right questions. Apparently we didn't ask the right questions because people were like, well, you have Zack Snyder on your stream, you don't ask those questions. It's not what this stream was about. Okay, I'm surprised. I actually was like going, I don't really want to ask him any questions because it wasn't about that. That's the thing. How are people not realizing that? Well, the thing is, they only saw a clip that somebody posted on Twitter. They only saw a clip. They saw a clip of me asking about if he saw James Gunn's animated appearance in the Harley Quinn show. Okay? I asked him that, and then of course, one of the top 5 rules that you're not supposed to do is talk about James Gunn unless it's in a super negative light. Okay? You can't talk about James Gunn unless you talk negative about him. So how dare I bring up James Gunn? And apparently, according to some people, it was me, kind of taking a jab to these fans because I know that they don't like James Gunn. So when I brought it up, oh yeah, it was against them because these people are fucking narcissists. They think that everything's against them. Isn't that weird? Isn't that funny how that is? It's like, wow, you think that highly of yourself that I was thinking about you guys when I asked that question? No, we were talking about the Teen Titans Go animated appearance of Zack Snyder and praising it and talking about the jokes and all that stuff. And then I just was wondering because few weeks before that, James Gunn did an animated appearance on Harley Quinn. So I was like, hey, did you see that, Zach? And he said, no, he hadn't seen it. And then he said, oh yeah, James is funny, blah, blah, blah. And then that was it. But apparently, that was against the rules, guys. Against the rules. Again, you can't go against the rules. The rules, guys. And then, of course, Garza asked about Black Adam and Superman, which, yeah, I admit that was like, why are you asking that, dude? Why are you asking that? I think Mr. Ben Everts is still giving him shit about it. And I was like, yeah, but I don't think he was being serious about it. I don't know what he said, if he said anything on the live stream about it, but I think I don't think he was actually fully serious about it. I'm like, we don't need to ask that. And then, of course, we asked about Rebel Moon and stuff like that. A little bit about Rebel Moon, but we didn't expect him to answer any of those questions because he's still working on the movie. That's the thing. This wasn't going to be a Q&A, and it's crazy how people were thinking that it should have been a Q&A. No. Sometimes these people just want to just shoot the shit. It was about an unboxing, okay? It was about him coming on and seeing that, and he was making jokes too. It was great. It wasn't about asking all these millions of questions about, did you meet with Zaslav, Justice League 2, Rebel Moon, Las Vegas? No, we weren't going to bombard him with a bunch of fucking questions, but yeah, apparently it was just like, and then yes, the whole thing when it came to Twitter, I was a little bit of I was like, again, I was feeling a little, we doing this, huh? What do you guys want to do, huh? You want to do this, huh? I got this. You come at me, come on, And somebody was just like, wow, how embarrassing it was because we asked about James Gunn and then Black Adam, and then I responded with, well, when he comes on your stream, feel free to ask him any questions you want. Of course, that made some of those, people mad a little bit. And I was like, yeah, I knew that was going to kind of stir the pot, but it's true. It's like, hey, if you want to ask the right questions, by all means, start a YouTube channel, build up an audience, build up, somewhat relationship with the man himself, and then have him on and ask whatever. Yeah, and of course that stirred the pot a little bit, and again, it was just like crazy to see. But there was like questions that I actually had for some people. Like I asked one person particularly who didn't watch the entire segment because he claimed that we didn't say anything about Rebel Moon, which of course we did. And then I even asked him, I was like, okay, you didn't watch the entire thing. You can actually just see the chunk if you want. I even time-stamped it, of course. But, and then I asked, I'm like, okay, so I got called Clout Chaser numerous times. I also got called a pedophile too, which is funny, which is ridiculous and gross. And like, these people are just really sick in the head. They wonder why they get called toxic when they're calling people pedophiles and clout chasers and all this kind of stuff. It's weird. But I asked one particular person, I'm like, do you guys ever get tired of calling people that have an association with him clout chasers? Like, what is going on with, like, what is that trying to accomplish? Honestly, what is that trying to accomplish? It's like, I'm sorry that, when it came to this whole thing that I was doing my thing and I was doing my videos and Zach was like, hey, stay at the Film Junkie. I like that guy. He's cool. We're cool. We had a cool, we built up like a little bit of a friendship and whatnot. And yeah, he likes to join the Vodka stream every now and again. Why? Because it's relaxed. Because Zach doesn't have to, be in director mode, sitting in the chair, answering a bunch of freaking questions. He could just come on and shoot the shit. Wow. It's crazy how that is, huh? Wow, it just kind of built that little relationship. Interesting, right? It's always kind of nice when you could just shoot the shit with some people, with some fans and whatnot. So I asked, I'm like, what? I mean, why is that always, that's always the buzzword You're a clout chaser. You're a clout chaser. Okay. I mean, I've talked about this before. We always, if you're doing this kind of thing, you're doing a YouTube channel, you're trying to do anything, you're writing articles for a blog, you're trying to do anything, podcasts or whatever. You want a little bit of clout, right? You want some clout. Like the clout that I want is anytime that news comes out or a review comes out, I want you guys to be like, to think, hey, I wonder what Dave thinks about that. That's my thing. You know, and it's funny too, because these same people will look over here to the Scoopsy Daisies over there. Are they not trying to do their shit for clout? Don't they want the clout of being scoopers? I'm just saying. Oh, but it's okay for them to do that, but not me or us or anything like that. That's right. Again, these rules. Don't mention James Gunn. How dare you have somebody on your live stream because you're just doing it for clout. I mean, am I supposed to say no? Sorry, Zach, you can't come on because I don't want to be called a clout chaser. I just don't want to be... Fuck off. That's all I got to say about that. And then, of course, you know, I had somebody else who is, I think she is a moderator for certain channels, telling me to delete my stream, delete all this stuff. Called me Film Junkee. That's right, Film Junkee. Kind of has a good ring to it. I kind of like it. I was like, Film Junkee. That's kind of cool. Because, you know, I'm always just like so fucking drunk on my streams. Like, ha, ha, ha. But I think she was actually drunk tweeting. It was like she was tweeting at me, but not tweeting at me. It was very strange. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to name names, but I was just kind of like, well, that's interesting. I'm like, see that? Like, that's what's going on with some of these people. They want me to just delete everything and go away. They want people to unsubscribe. They've said unsubscribe, unfollow, stop doing all that. And I'm not saying that back, okay? If I don't like what there's YouTube channels, I don't like what they're doing, you know? Signor, you know, people like that, and, you know, the Scoopsy Daisies and what like, I don't like what they're doing over there, the sleaziness that's going. But hey, that's your hustle. That's what you do. Fine. Okay? If people are going to watch you, fine. Nothing I can do about it. Okay? Nothing I can do about it. If you choose to watch that and they have their shtick and they're doing it, then power to them. Okay? It doesn't mean I'm going to watch them or anything like that. And if anything comes about, I'll criticize it. But it's funny because when it comes to all this stuff, they want people to stop. I mean, this is not the first time this has happened, too. When it comes to certain people in the fandom, they want the following, the audience, everything to be taken away. They want me to be just deplatformed and done and everything like that. And that's just weird. It's like, I'm like, is that all you have? I mean, just you could just ignore. You know, you could just ignore me if you want. I don't know. You choose. Like, what is it? What is it? I don't know. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, Dave. You have been on a real one since, 2014, yeah. Zack Snyder's human, God forbid he act like one. Exactly. It wasn't about questions. And what did Zack say? And I know this will probably make the same people mad. Is like, he said he'd be back. And that's when we'll talk about stuff. Okay? But, I mean, I didn't really want to ask him about anything that night. I just wanted to, it was just nice for him to show up. Fucking nicest guy in the world. And him and Debbie. Nicest people in the world. But I didn't follow the rules. Apparently. That's what's so funny about this whole thing. Thank you, DJ, for all that. Power of choice. I know. Well, drunk, you know, it was kind of drunk, Scott, but yeah. But anyway, so... And it was her anniversary weekend, too. Thank you, Steph, for, yeah. It was her anniversary weekend, and they took the time to do that. But, you know. But, of course, yeah. There wasn't... we didn't ask the right questions, didn't do all that. But so it was kind of funny. So I had, you know, an interesting weekend pushing back on all that, you know. And, you know, and I appreciate the kind words. So many people said some kind words. And that's another thing, too, when it comes to this whole thing. And I know we always focus on the negative. That's what we do as humans. Like, we can have, you know, 99 positive messages, but that one negative message, that's the one that you point out. That's the one you put out there. And there's so much negativity out there nowadays. It's just all negativity. Doesn't matter what the balance is, because usually it's the minority is negativity and the majority is positivity. We always focus on the negativity, and yes, I pushed back on the negativity, but the fact of the matter is I got mainly positivity. I got so many people liking the stream, liking the tweets, liking everything like that, sending some great messages. Even my friends were sending great messages. Chris Wong Swenson, Everett's, everybody was sending stuff. Travis sent some stuff, and everybody was just saying stuff. Zed, I know you said something out there, and people were saying just really nice things as well, which is great. And the positivity was mainly there, and that's what's good. Is the fact that the majority of it was positivity. But you have to have a little fun pushing back on the negativity too, and I did. And yeah, I got called a lot, got called a lot of names. And at the same time, I'm like, what's the end game? What are you trying to accomplish with this? When you're calling people clout chaser or pedophiles or whatever the fuck, you're calling people all these kind of names. I mean, you wonder why we get these articles that talk about the toxicity in the Snyder fandom, and then you see shit like that, shit that was hailed at me and all this kind of stuff. You see that, it's like, okay, so you realize that this is what they're talking about, right? You realize that. When we have all this other positive stuff with the AFSB stuff, with everything else, the campaigns and the art and videos and all this stuff, I mean, they're looking at this because what happens? Again, focus on the negative. We focus on the negative way too much. Way too much. Focus on the positive, okay? What's the positive? Zack and Debbie showed up and shot the shit with some fans unboxing a Darkseid statue. That's all it was. And we weren't going to bombard them with a bunch of questions or anything like that. And, if you didn't, we had some questions. You didn't like it, then what? Then guess what? Just complain about it in your DMs and your group chats. That's what you got to do. But when you start doing that publicly, guess what? Then people start seeing it, which people with bigger followings were seeing some of that stuff. I saw some of those and I was like, see, again, puts the fucking fandom in a negative light. But anyways, clout chaser, taking a drink. The king, remember? Yeah. Oh yeah, one of the pillars of all that. It wasn't about you, Dave. It was about me. I know. It was about Scott. That's what it was about. And the struggle. I'm sure you're still sore about that. Yeah. So, yeah. That's just what I wanted to talk about, I mean, I just wish that when it comes to this kind of stuff, it's like, okay, you don't like me? You don't like what I do? Fine. But then when it was just like, then, I mean, like, I'm just trying to wonder, like, what exactly was I, how it wouldn't have mattered. I guess you could say it wouldn't have mattered. If we would have asked the right questions, it wouldn't have mattered, no matter what, And like I said, these guys, these people want me to go away, want me to be, taken away from my platform and taken away from all this and delete all my shit and stuff like that. It's very, very interesting. All because it's like, it's whatever. I'm a fucking clout chaser. But, some of those guys over there, with their scoops and shit like that, they're not clout chasers. They're doing the Lord's work.